All right, it's Master Allen. In this video, we are going to go over your white belt kicks. So white belt, you have 3 kicks. There's the front kick, where you kick in front of you. There's the back kick, where you kick behind you and kick to the back. And there's the side kick, where you kick to either side. All of these kicks, one of the things we're going to emphasize is the flamingo. The flamingo is really, really traditional in many martial arts systems. It's a way to teach people to work on their balance, and it's a way to give you more options with a kick. If I have to kick with my foot coming up from the floor without sort of pulling it into this flamingo position, or what some schools call a chamber, it makes it harder to get certain angles. And so we start with this, but one of the things you'll discover as you get more and more advanced, having a really, really stiff flamingo becomes limiting later on. But as a beginner, it's a really important aspect of mastering your balance and getting good at controlling your body. And so when I flamingo up from my horse stance, so I want to make sure I've got my back up straight. If I'm rounded or I'm off center or anything like that, it makes it much more difficult to keep my balance in regular circumstances. And when I'm going to be standing on one leg, it makes it even harder. And so as I flamingo up to do my front kick, I start from my horse stance. I can have my hands in elbow position or on guard. If you have your hands on guard and you notice that it's causing your shoulders to come up or for your body to kind of round out, put them in elbow position for now, it's fine. And so when I flamingo up, a lot of times for me, I turn my foot just a tiny bit. Some people are going to be able to keep their foot pointed forward when they flamingo up. Other people are going to need to turn their foot just a tiny bit as they flamingo up. It kind of depends on how your hips and your knees are made, what's going to be most comfortable for you. But so I lift my foot, and you'll notice I don't pull it up this way to the side where it kind of looks like I'm on a triangle. It comes up through the middle and then down through the middle. And that's a component to learning how to master my balance and be really in control of my body. Now the front ball kick is one of the more important kicks because we see it in so much of our material, but it can also be really difficult to get comfortable with the foot formation. When I throw a front ball kick, I'm kicking out with the ball of my foot, that's the part down there under my big toe. And I want it to reach out and forward so that I'm hitting with a straight line from the ball of my foot through the tiny bones in my foot and the other bones in my ankle into the big bones in my shin so that I don't hit and injure my ankle. If I've got my foot turned like this and I hit with the ball of my foot, I can hurt my ankle pretty seriously, especially if I'm kicking with a lot of power and if I kick something really hard. And so if we have toes up, I want to hit with my heel. For the front ball kick, I reach out with the ball of my foot. I don't just pull my toes back. And so I start from my horse stance. I come up through my flamingo, reach out with the ball of my foot, back into the flamingo, and then back down to the horse stance. So again, you can do this from elbow position, or you can do it from on guard. And you'll learn from your body whether this foot should stay pointed in the direction of your target, or if it needs to turn off just a little bit so that your knees aren't in each other's way. Now the back kick, we're going to add a little wrinkle. So for this, as my foot goes back, I need my upper body to bend forward. And so I don't want to have my upper body upright when I throw a back kick, because then my spine gets really tightened up. I lose a lot of power, and my leg can't extend. So as I throw my back kick, I want my upper body to go forward. And that'll help me keep my balance, and it allows me to extend my legs so that I can maximize my power and get a nice long kick. So I come up to the flamingo, I go out with my heel, pull the foot in and back down. Now when you practice these, make sure before you start that you're not going to blast something expensive or somebody. And then as you work on this, for right now, don't worry about looking behind you. Because if my head turns, my shoulder turns, if my shoulder turns, then my back kick is going to become a side kick very quickly. So I want to be able to come up, kick back with my toes pointed down towards the floor, pull my foot back to a flamingo, and back down. So the back kick, I want to think about looking at something to help me keep my eyes out, but letting my body bend and bend back. Now your back kick should be your most powerful kick for a very long time. But if it's hard for you to aim it or keep your balance, then it won't be. And so the key is to then learn how to aim your back kick and maintain your balance, and then it's a really, really powerful tool to have in your toolbox. So back kick, I come up, kick out, back in, and down. And again, you can do this with the hands up or hands in elbow position, depending on what you need to help you keep your spine straight. Side kick. So the side kick and the back kick are very close together. They use a lot of the same muscles. And what we want to do with the side kick, our foot is going to be pointed sideways, and we're kicking out the heel, just like the back kick. And so for the side kick, I come up to my flamingo, but I need to pivot so that my belt knot turns away from my target before I throw the kick. So I come up, and then I'm going to pivot on the ball of my foot to point my heel in the direction that I want to kick. And then I'm going to drive my foot out with my toes pointed sideways, flamingo back in and down. And so I pivot on the way out, and I pivot on the way back in. And that's going to help me not only have better power, but it helps protect this knee. If I don't pivot when I throw my side kick, then this leg has got a lot more instability, and it can't support as much power driving out. Now, some schools will throw a side kick, and when they say side kick, they mean hitting with the side of the foot or the blade of the foot. We typically call that kick a side blade kick. Now, other schools will call our side kick a side thrust kick. Okay? And so make sure as you're kind of looking around, or if you go to another school at some point, or if you're watching this video from another school, it's the terminology difference. So I come up, kick out, in, and back down. And my upper body's got to bend as my leg extends the same way that I had to with my back kick. It's just a little bit different orientation of my spine. Up, out, in, down. So those are your 3 white belt kicks. Now there's also a front heel kick where you kick out with the heel, and a front instep kick where you kick up with the instep of your foot. That's kind of where the laces of your shoes are. And so the front ball kick is the one I want you to make sure you can get down. But you're going to see a front heel kick and a front instep kick in your material as well. And so as you work on your front kicks, you can kind of mix it up and practice the ball of the foot, the heel, and the instep. Because those are all front kicks that we expect you to have in your bag of tricks. And when we call them off, we want you to be able to do them. That's your white belt kicks. Practice them. Come back to this video as often as you need to. I'll see you again soon.